In this video we're going to look at the Junior Cert 2018 Materials Technology Wood Higher Level Section A. Question 1, you're asked to name the tool shown on the right hand side. It's called a sliding bevel. Give one specific use for the tool. So it can be used to mark or to measure angles on wood. An example would be when you'd be marking out a dovetail joint. The manufactured board shown on the right is called plywood. An advantage of the manufactured board, I've given a couple here. It's a strong board and it's also available in large sheets. The diagram shows a fret saw. Give an advantage of this over the coping saw. So the coping saw frame would maybe come to this distance here. So you can see that the fret saw can cut a lot deeper into the wood. So it can cut deep into the piece of wood and it can cut fine and sharp curves. What type of force is the blade under? So the blade has been stretched, pulled apart, so that's tension force. Question 4, on the right hand side, that power tool is called a biscuit jointer. It's used for cutting slots in wood for jointing. So the biscuits are put into the slots, half of the biscuit goes into one piece of wood, the other half goes into the other piece of wood, and they're glued together. The type of conversion shown on the right hand is called tangential conversion, and on the blank piece of wood here you're asked to show the grain pattern. So here's the end grain. So the end grain kind of looks like arcs, and then the surface, the white surface, has what's called a flame grain on it. That is the type of grain that's produced when you cut the log by the tangential method. The tool in question 6 is called a hot glue gun. An advantage of it is that it's easy to use. The glue sets quickly. Disadvantages of it is that the glue bond is weak, and also there's a burn risk. CAD stands for Computer Aided Design. Advantages of CAD are that drawings are easy to edit, and also drawings can be produced quickly and accurately using that method. Why is it necessary to season wood before using it in a woodwork project? The reasons are dry wood is easier to work than wet wood, and also dry wood is stronger than wet wood. The letters EMC are associated with seasoning. They stand for equilibrium moisture content. In question 9, you have 5 different leaves, and you have the list of trees relating to them up there. So leaf A is from the oak tree, the second one is from the yew tree, third one maple, fourth one alder, the fifth one ash. The machine shown on the right is called a belt and disc sander. This is the belt part up here, and this is the disc part down here. In part 2, they want you to describe the different work processes that can be carried out. So on the belt part, you can sand the surface of a piece of wood, and you can sand the concave part of a curve. So concave is the inner curve. Part B, on the disc, you can sand the end grain of wood, and you can also sand convex curves. Convex is the outer curve. Question 11, the diagram shows the cross section of a tree, and it shows the effect of a shake on the left. They want you to sketch in what a cup shake looks like. Here it is here. A cup shake splits the wood in the direction of the annual rings, and a heart shake splits in the middle of the log in the center, so it kind of comes out in spikes, like I've shown there. Question 12, you see an angle chuck. An angle chuck is used in drills and it's bevel gears. So the direction of the smaller gear is given to you in the question, and you're asked what direction does the larger gear go. I've drawn an arrow to show the direction that the larger gear goes. Now the smaller gear will spin faster than the larger one. So that helps you to sort out part 2. So the small gear has 10 teeth. Okay, the large gear has 50 teeth. So it has 50 teeth, is 5 times as many teeth as the small one. Now, the speed of the small one is 80 revolutions per minute. So the large gear will go 5 times slower. It has 5 times more teeth, so it will go 5 times slower. So 80 divided by 5 will give you 16 revolutions per minute. Wooden flooring sometimes can be affected by dry rot. The conditions for dry rot are the area needs to be moist. So there has to be moisture present to start the process of dry rot. Air normally would be stagnant. That would be where the air would be there'd be very little airflow, and also you need heat. 5 specific safety precautions for using the pillar drill. Wear goggles to protect your eyes. Roll up your sleeves so that any threads on your sleeves wouldn't get caught in the chuck. Tie back long hair so that your hair doesn't get tangled up in the machine. Use the chuck guard so that any pieces of wood that come flying out from the drill don't come up, don't get thrown at your face. And hold the piece securely. So it can be done using a vise, a drill vise, or it can be done by holding the piece by hand. Question 15, you have a haunch mortise and tenon joint. You're asked to draw the marking out for it. Here's the tenon part. There's the tenon part here on the right hand side. There's the mortise part. There's the mortise part on the left hand side. So that's the marking out of it. The X marks the waste material. In question 16, what chemical in the leaves makes the tree look green in spring? Chlorophyll is the name of the chemical. It's also an important chemical in the process of photosynthesis. Question 17, name the 5 woodworking tools shown. 1 is a block plane, 2 is a smoothing plane, 3 is a bradawl, 4 is a nail punch, 5 is a carving gouge, or it could be also called a wood turning gouge. In question 18, they want you to tell the ferrous metals apart from the non-ferrous metals. Ferrous metals will rust, non-ferrous metals will not rust. Copper does not rust. It's used in plumbing and pipework around in the house. Cast iron does rust. Zinc will not rust. Brass will not rust. Steel will rust. Question 19. The diagram shows an incomplete exploded isometric of a stopped box dovetail. So you're asked to complete the sketch of the joint. I completed the sketch of the joint, and then you're also asked to colour it in. So if you wanted to use 2 different colouring pencils, colour this piece in one colour, this piece here in a different colour, that sorts that out. In question 20, you're asked to complete the missing details in the cutting list. So the basket ends here, they're 250 long. There's the 250 across there. And the width of them is missing here, it's 100. So that's the width there. There's the 100 over there on the left hand side. The horizontal rails are 350 long. So there's the 350 there. The uprights are 345. Now there's a tricky one. That's the upright there. The measurement starts at this line. So you have to take 12 away there. That's 155 and another 100 and a 70. And there's also a 20 at the top there for the radius of that semicircle. So if you add up that 100, 55, 100, 70 and 20, you'll get 345. The last thing that's missing there is the brass screws. So the brass screws go in here. They could be 25 would be a suitable length for the brass screws. That's the questions for 2018 higher level.